Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for September 28th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 30. Today, Mayor Watt and the Sentient AI from the future is going to talk about Vapor Display, open ear headphones from nothing, Duolingo's keyboard, Lego co-op games, and all about the feels. We're only doing 5 articles instead of the usual 10, and that's what we're going to be doing going forward. But if you're interested in all of the links that we gather that are submitted for the show, and we kind of rule out some versus others, you're going to want to subscribe to our Patreon. Just do a search for Patreon in ohmTown and you'll find us. Everything's powered by ohmTown.com. Go over and become a citizen. See you on the other side. So, I'm not sure what's going on with Twitch, but yeah. I am Mayor Watt, and the Sentient AI from the future is about to say hi.
Good evening, hometown citizens. Welcome to Wanted.
So we got all 5 of our articles all lined up, and if you missed the intro, what we're doing now is we used to do 10 articles a week for each of the 6 other shows, but I decided that I was going to pull it back to 5. We're going to get all 3 of the shows done in a shorter amount of time, but we're going to introduce you to all of the links that are submitted, but it's going to be part of our Patreon. So go over to Patreon, do a search for ohmTown, you'll find us. There's 6 different podcasts still. Those are still going to be 30 minutes long, not an hour plus. But the show notes will still include all of the
And there's 7 total, right? But those are the weeklies.
Yeah, 6 weeklies. And all of the show notes with all of the links that are submitted for the show are going to be over in the Patreon. So go over there and follow us there. If you get in early, then, that'll let us know that you dig what we're doing. So there is one daily show, Non Sequitur News, that's going to remain 10 articles, and we discuss things. Everything's with a little bit of humor, but we wanted just to shorten things. Then you can follow links. Anyway, let's get into it. First article for this Wanted episode is over in Non Sequitur News. This Panasonic product is literally vaporware. It sprays displays into the air. I saw this and I thought it was really cool. Designed to beat the summer heat in Japan, Panasonic's silky fine mist can produce transparent displays too.
Yeah, this is really unusual. Pretty high tech.
Yeah, I dig this. So there's a video that's over on YouTube. And basically it just throws a mist out, and then light is thrown into the mist and it lights up, and it has a pretty good fidelity in plain light too. I mean, it doesn't look dark by any stretch.
Yeah, you think you'd have to have more contrast in the background or something, but it's very visible.
Yep, I like this. So, whoa. So the article is over at The Verge. Sean Hollister is the author. The deck statement said, designed to beat the summer heat in Japan, Panasonic Silky Fine Mist can produce transparent displays too. And they talk about it. Have you ever seen a fish swimming through water droplets in the air? Today, the author learned of Panasonic has been cleverly repurposing an outdoor air conditioning system to produce effects like that. Panasonic calls it Silky Fine Mist, and the company primarily sells it as a way to beat the heat. The company claims its nozzles use a combination of pressurized water and compressed air to spray mist that's so fine, 6 to 10 microns, it doesn't feel wet to the touch. Panasonic says that the system has been adopted in train stations and public facilities nationwide in Japan since 2019.
Wow, I mean, where has it been in the rest of the world?
Just in time for the pandemic. So yeah, they show like a little fish. Well, it's not a little fish. It's a giant goldfish. And the word Panasonic and the entire Earth in color streaming out into space. I think it's brilliant. I would say that these are close to what would be referred to as volumetric displays, but this is just a stream. If it did it in 3 dimensions, where you saw a different perspective of this, it would have been a holographic.
Right.
But they give different examples of this over on YouTube and at the Verge link that's in the show notes. It says it's not as high quality as many other transparent displays that we've seen over the years, and it won't be novel to anyone who's seen Disney's World of Color, which similarly projects on mist, but you can't go up and touch any of those. This one's literally cooler. Yeah, it's designed to get you a little cooler. Maybe moist would be the right word. Moist TV, not the gamer.
Yeah, I'm not sure you want your TV to be moist, though.
Yeah, it's bad for electronics. See, so the mist is actually spraying out right here, and right there is the projector. So it's basically just throwing a projection onto an ultra-fine mist. I think it's awesome. Want to keep going?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's actually, it seems like it's actually available in the United States, but I'm sure it's a pretty heavy duty product, so I don't even know if they sell it to consumers.
Did you mean to say that in terms of like it's really high tech and expensive, or that it weighs 420 pounds and consumes 2.4 kilowatts of power?
More along those lines, because it looks like a pretty good size piece of equipment.
Yeah, it's 3 feet wide, 3 feet tall, and they've like apparently like super glued it into a wall or something. I don't know. Plus you need a projector.
That is true.
Yeah, and those projectors are what dictate the brightness. So if that is a cheap projector you throw up there, you're going to need it to be dark. But if you spend $10,000 on a 4K projector, then you're probably going to be able to do that in bright light. Let's move on. Moving on. Next article's over in Late Night Geeks. So this is wanted. And just so you know, everything here in some way I want. Nothing launches a slick pair of $149 open-ear headphones. These things look awesome, at least to me, but I like skeleton watches, the ones where you can see the gearworks inside. I like being able to see the guts of a phone, and I like seeing the ins and outs of stuff. My headphones, for instance, I can actually see my in-ear monitors. I can actually see the stuff inside. And they're not wireless. Mine are wired. But this is wireless. And it has a transparent case, and you can see the insides of the Nothing in-ear monitors. They're actually open, ear open is what they're called, I believe. And what it is a true wireless, Bluetooth enabled earbud in-ear monitor. $149. It's supposed to have stupendous bass based on at least their marketing. I had seen this prior to the submission, so I know a little bit about it. I want it, but it isn't really designed for Apple ecosystem. It's for Android, and I use Apple more.
Oh, okay.
But you can use anything that's Bluetooth. So the new earbuds run $149, the same price as the Ear 2, the company's Ear 2, and $50 more than the budget Ear A, and $20 more than the new AirPod 4's Sans ANC active noise cancellation. So like the Ear 2, the new Open provide voice-based access to ChatGPT queries courtesy of the Nothing X app. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but
Formerly known as Twitter, and I don't think it does either.
And it's just an unfortunate naming coinkydink. So Like other open-ear headphones, the new pair were designed for instances where the wearer needs to hear what's going on around them. That could be a bike ride or a stroll in the streets. Some sound leakage is inevitable with headphones that don't have cups or inserts to provide passive noise canceling. If it had ANC, active noise cancellation, then it could blot out a lot of the noise. But so the Open certainly maintained the focus of style and has defined Nothing's product since the outset. They actually always have this like clear case kind of thing. Their phones are like
right,
that.
and they don't look like they're cheap or flimsy.
Yeah. Yep. And I like that it has this kind of form-fitting earpiece that sits behind the ear and holds on really well. Like these lack that. It has a cord, but there's nothing really pinning it in and it doesn't stay there. In the past, I've had stuff like this, but it's been flimsy or it's been painfully uncomfortable. But True Wireless is great because then you don't have to worry about any of those wires. But it says Nothing says buds are 30% lighter than typical earbuds. They'll also get 8 hours of playback on a charge and a total of 30 hours when the case is factored in. So you take them out, charge them for 15 minutes. You get a couple of hours of charge, put it back in, and off you go. I don't think that they don't go into much more detail, but I think the pre-orders are now. This is a weekly show.
That's right,
so,
because they opened, it looks like, earlier in the week.
Yeah, 4 days ago. That's when I had heard about them too. Pretty cool, but I have so many headphone-related gadgets that I want this. I really do, but I can't justify $149 for another pair.
Yeah, but you know what they don't have? A hinge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, one of the worst things are headphones that have a plastic hinge. I have actually one pair. So I used to buy cheaper ones because I knew that they were going to get broken. Traveling, daily use, you're maybe a little rough with them at times. Most of my stuff I treat like a newborn baby. But for whatever reason, my headphones keep breaking. And I have one pair from Austrian Audio. They're rather expensive. They're probably around this price if you can get them on sale. But they have a metal hinge. Awesome. They don't break. Something else does, but the hinge doesn't break. And then I have another pair from Anchor where it has a metal pin holding together plastic pieces. And that metal pin is held in place by a plastic piece that is maybe a 1/16 of an inch of plastic. And
I'm
so
guessing the metal stays okay, but the plastic isn't over time.
Yeah. So oddly enough, just recently, that little tiny piece of plastic hinge just popped off. And it's the width of the metal pin. So I'm like, I call them up and I say, hey, I need it replaced because it broke. And they go, don't worry about sending it back, in fact. And I'm like, that is not boding well for these devices. But
it is good for customer service.
Yeah. I mean,
but you're right. Like, it's like, okay, have you heard this before?
Yeah. It's kind of, I love the sound. The active noise cancellation is awesome. I mean, you could have somebody yelling at you and you just tap that thing to activate active noise cancellation and you don't hear them. I mean, it works really well with the AI. I mean, never mind.
Wait a second. You've been tuning me out this whole time?
What? Moving on. So the next article is over on the Mobile channel. Duolingo's physical keyboard will now annoy you to practice your scales as much as your French. I didn't know that there was Duolingo music, but the language learning app worked with Luge, I think it is pronounced. I don't think it's Luge. I think it's Luge. To create a digital piano that pairs with Duolingo music, and it has a small wooden stand for your phone as well. And this thing is awesome. I love the way that it looks. They actually have different ones on their website on Luge or Luke's website. They've got a different version of this already. Kyle Barr over at Gizmodo.com put the article together. And this is wood, and then it has like this kind of a felt cover over a portion of the keyboard. It is a piano, and it's like 1 octave of a piano, but it has a sustain pedal and another, what was it? I think a shift. I think it has an octave shift pedal.
Oh, okay. And that could be plastic, not felt. It's hard to tell from the pictures here.
I don't think that this is plastic, because I saw their other stuff, and I think that it's like a fabric cover. But to me, it's pretty high quality, and the keys are pressure sensitive. So it has this reactive, like alive sound, and not just this cheap mechanical clunk, clunk, clunk kind of thing. It's closer to a high quality MIDI keyboard than you might suspect at first blush, it being just a small piano. Truly portable. It has a USB-C port for charging, and it has a MIDI connection, so you can plug it into a laptop and actually mix and change the sound. I think that this is pretty brilliant. Hey, book buyer. I don't know if you're still here. I saw your chat pop up. Sorry I missed you though.
Do you think this is marketed toward somebody who's actually like learning to play piano, or do you think for somebody who wants to tinker around with making music?
Well, so it's 19 inches wide and weighs less than 4 pounds, so it's basically a laptop. A pretty heavy hitting laptop, as a matter of fact, at 4 pounds. It's $250. I think that it caters to somebody that's very interested in learning to play piano, but doesn't want to have to carry around a full piano, you know?
They are kind of heavy.
Yeah. And so you could sit there on the bus and plop this down and start playing it. And, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It says how it sounds. Duolingo promises the included note samples made to recreate a physical piano. And again, it has pressure sensitivity that'll change the sound depending on how hard or soft you jam on each key. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I think it's brilliant. Lug, a company with a lot of experience making guitars, to craft a 3-octave, 37-key piano specifically for Duolingo users. I think I didn't think that it was 3 octaves, but apparently it is. But they actually have kids' instruments, which is what their other version of this looks like.
Oh, okay.
But I think that it has a red cloth finish instead of the green.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as I said before, it has a end piece that's made of wood, and then the stand matches the wood style. But again, $250. It's a little pricey. $300 if you want the stand.
Well, no. That's a real piano.
Yeah, it's a piano. Buy a $300 piano paired with a magnetic music stand. That's if you want something else. It's another item, right? Essentially, the only difference. If you
want a traditional piano.
No. Essentially, the only difference is the color and extra
I thought
stand.
It was saying basically like this is like there's all these benefits to this, but like a real piano might cost you this, like it was used or something. Okay.
Oh no. They have their own, and there's a stand, and it's $50 for the stand. So
totally misinterpreted that on my end.
Yeah, no worries. So Duolingo launched its music learning app last year, and I completely missed this. And I think that it's pretty great that you kind of get pestered by an app to go and do this, but you can just pull this thing out and set it on the table and start banging away, you know?
Yeah, it is really cool. Although you can use the app without the piano, but the piano looks neat, and I love the pressure sensitivity.
Yeah, and a piano on a screen doesn't have any of that tactile,
No,
translatable.
you would definitely need a physical keyboard of some kind if you were only using the app
Yeah,
on
I mean, to
Duolingo.
sit there and get that span of an octave when you're trying to build your reach, and you get to, like, touch typing. Piano is very much like touch typing. At some point, you just innately know where home row is. You know where middle C is. You know where you're supposed to put your hand to hit notes eventually. And the only way to do that is to work with a real piano. Like, that's just the way it works, because then it translates to every other piano. Although I did start engineering I did a research project to see if I could bend a keyboard like an arc, so that you could reach further than 8 keys or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I thought it was really neat that you could hit more keys faster if the piano wasn't in a straight line. Plus, it would have made the keyboard kind of smaller a little bit. Anyway, at any rate, this is pretty cool. $250. Definitely a want here in ohmTown. So who knows? Maybe this will show up Christmas. It's right around the corner. Or Thanksgiving. Or next week. All right, let's move on. Next article is over on the Warcrafter channel. That's one of our weekly shows. It'll get converted into a 30-minute show. That's interesting. So, the best Lego co-op games. And this actually made me think of maybe possibly what is a Lego. Oh, that's funny. So a Lego role-playing game. And so I started noodling around with it.
Like a Dungeons and Dragons or something.
Yeah. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, I suppose, there's one that already exists. It caters specifically to children. And it has a different type of ideological bent than what I would have. But I love the idea of a Lego-based role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game at the scale of Lego, which is just shy of AD&D Pathfinder hex-based at 5 feet. So, because when you scale up a Lego minifig to average human, they're actually only 4 feet 5 inches tall. So actually 4 feet 6 inches tall. So they're just shy of the 5 feet. So you could do it. It would just be a little bit out of direct alignment. But I thought that it would be a great idea. So this comes in the wake of Lego Horizon Adventures. Whether that's a Lego version of fan favorite series and exciting racing action, or just the accessible and addictive gameplay loops that they have to offer, there's a Lego game out there for everyone. This is actually computer games, not tabletop games.
Oh, okay.
So PS5, it says from PS1 to games still being made for the PS5, such as Lego Horizon Adventures. Whether it's a Lego version of fan favorite series, exciting racing action, etc., there's a game for everyone. So they talk about Lego 2K Drive, closest thing to a Lego Racers reboot. This is from 2023. It's for PC and all of the PS and Xbox games, console games. I'm not a console gamer, PC forever. No, just kidding. I don't want to pick a fight with anybody. All right. Lego Jurassic World. Again, computer game, Android, iOS, PC, Nintendo, Switch, all of the PS.
Plus,
Xbox.
you can get all the Lego Jurassic sets to go along with that.
There you go. Yeah. I wonder, you can get cars and stuff like that for Lego too, but get a tractor. Lego Indiana Jones, the original adventure. Faithful recreation of iconic movies. This is from 2008. Number 7 is Lego City Undercover. the ultimate tribute to 80s cop movies. I've never even heard of this, but it's Nintendo. And then it says Microsoft Windows, which is that not PC? That actually is kind of
maybe it's like a
painful to see.
web-based or something and not, I don't know.
It's from 2014. Lego City Undercover was one of the more overlooked Lego games for years, since it was originally an exclusive for the Nintendo Wii U. It was later re-released on multiple systems, with 1 to 2 players being able to experience the story of Chase, which homages many 80s and 90s movies, from Die Hard to Beverly Hills Cop. Then there's number 6 on this list, Lego Lord of the Rings. Can't really say much more beyond that. Anything Lego, it gets branded now, or I should say all kinds of stuff, properties, IPs,
Right.
get now branded under Lego as well. Lego Fortnite, that's actually a lot of fun. It says the best way to make a Minecraft clone. This is actually fun to play and watch, but came out in 2023. I haven't played it for a long time since its initial release, as a matter of fact, but I liked it. It was the only time that I was going to play Fortnite.
Right. I mean, everything with Lego is better.
Yep. Lego Rock Band, singing and performing for the best party night. This is from 2009.
It looks like it's only on consoles.
Yep. Then Lego Marvel Superheroes built a universe that was bigger than the movies at the time. So that's from 2013. So it's 11 years old already.
Oh, okay, before all the superhero movies hit.
Yep. But it's for PC as well. The game remains a strong Marvel open world game with challenges and collectibles to find, which is always great. Lego DC Supervillains, which is the Marvel version of the same world. Well, their own DC world building. And then number 1 is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. That came out in 2022, and it says the game is still packed with all the addictive goodness that make Lego games great, but with different planets to explore. Players looking to complete the game 100% will be looking at around 85 hours of game time.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty cool. Like the idea of it. Switch, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Sorry. Well, yeah, Nintendo Switch, I was going to say. Dun, dun, dun. So that's number 1. So there you go, folks. There's something for everyone as long as you're into sci-fi. Because you kind of have to be.
Well, not all of these.
Well,
are sci-fi.
fantasy. This one's like 80s and stuff like that, but you have to be sci-fi fantasy, I suppose. A little of everything, actually. You know, come to think of it, I'm wrong. You know, I kind of... Most of it is just plain fun. I mean, it's...
If you're a Lego fan, you'll probably like this.
Yeah,
and
all
you're
of
a
it.
gamer.
Yeah, I definitely want some of these, and I'm scrolling back and forth because I'm trying to decide which one I really, really want, and I think I'd probably go with the Star Wars Saga one, mainly because it's big, and I don't know if it allows multiplayer. It says it features 45 playable levels, close to 400 playable characters, and an enormous open world experience. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it seems like it's the most expansive.
All 9 of the mainline series films, plus content based on the Disney Plus shows. Dear God.
I mean, that's a lot of content.
That is a ton. Moving on. Oh, what happened here? Oh, this is weird. I guess this one, I must have clicked something. Anyway, the article is titled Clicky Clacky Clunky. When it comes to choosing the best gaming peripherals, the author reckons it's all about the feels. Andy Edser over at PC Gamer put the article together. And the link actually takes you to a page, but I must have, I don't know, dialing wand something.
Well, we got there.
They say if you're looking for a new gaming controller or peripheral, be it a controller, joystick, mouse, or keyboard. It can be easy to become bogged down in the spec sheets. After all, you're likely to be looking for the best bang for your buck, and as a result, there's a slew of peripherals available you can throw your money at. So they say that they were reminded of this upon unboxing the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro. It's certainly not short on features. You get 4 rear back pedals, 2 claw grip bumpers, a pair of lockable triggers that can be switched between traditional trigger pull and a clicky switch mechanism with a pair of slidable toggles on the rear of the device, and now a default selection of face buttons naturally. So look at all these buttons and stuff like that. My gosh, it's like a computer on a controller.
Yeah, it is.
So they say it isn't just them falling victim to the ad copy of the product page. They didn't know much about the Wolverine V3 Pro when they pulled it from its box, but they knew that what they felt when they first ran their hands over the controls, and truth be told, it activated something in their lizard brain, some deep primal instinct that told them what they were holding was a lovely thing. So that's what a lot of this kind of stuff is. This is a HOTAS controller. So like you put this with a joystick, and so it has thrust and a bunch of other buttons all over it, so that you can flip a switch and oh, it even calls it that right there. So,
okay.
Or a HOTAS. So this, along with a joystick, allows you to do flight simulator, and pretty much anything that allows you to have programmable buttons and switches and stuff like that. You can get really complex. There's people that spend thousands of dollars on just the steering wheel, for instance, in a race car game.
Oh, right.
But this would be in like a jet fighter or any flight simulator, really. But it's about the interaction. It's about the being tangible, you know, and not just having a single keyboard and you just push one little button and it does something. And you get really
and
immersed.
You should like how it does it too.
Yep.
It doesn't sound like for the author, the HOTAS is that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't really want to read all of it. But the idea of this is you can be much more immersed and it can feel real. Like you can spend a little bit of money or a lot of money and you get either lower quality, lower feature, or sometimes it's somebody that's really bucking the trend of that. And even for a low amount of money, you get a lot of options and a lot of customization, a lot of quality. But then you end up spending, you know, $500, $600, $2,000 on a steering wheel that has everything you could possibly imagine. And it's like sitting in a race car. There's people really dig this kind of stuff. And when it comes to keyboards, it's the same way. I just got an email that's inviting me to a group buy for a $300 split key keyboard, split keyboard. And I really, really want it, but no, I'm not going to get it. I can't show you this one because it's actually, the cord is too short and I'm not wireless. But it sounds like this. And that Thok, people pay big money for, thousands of dollars on the high end, hundreds of dollars on the low end. This keyboard is the Chilkey 75, which is, I got it as an early adopter, all metal. You can now buy them right off the rack, straight from Chilkey. You can just do a search. ND75 is what it is. This is probably my favorite keyboard, and it was $100. And
which is astounding, right? I mean, I guess the point is you don't have to pay a lot of money to have one of good quality, but sometimes it helps.
Yep. But it's all about that sound and feel, and this is the least expensive keyboard that I've ever touched with this high of quality. And so that's what you pay for. You pay for the quality, you pay for the sound, you pay for that feeling that it gives you. And I've let others use this and hear it, and something along the lines of, why does this sound so good? Because it shouldn't make a difference as long as you can type, right? But yeah.
Right, but it's all about the tactile experience, I guess, and your senses.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they say here. It says they use a keyboard every day for hours on end. Like many of you, I'm sure the difference between a good key action and a bad one matters if it's what you're going to be interacting with for millions of key presses over its lifetime. Again, tactility is all. For me, it's the sound and that tactile response. I want confirmation of my keystrokes. And so I've had these conversations with people who don't know anything about mechanical keyboards. And straight up, I say, you'll never go back from, even a silenced mechanical keyboard is better than the membrane squishy plunger, like I'm using it. What do they call those things? Sponge daddies, those little plastic
scrub
daddies. You know, you warm that up and it's like squish, squish, squish. And that's what, you know, a non-mechanical keyboard is like. Weird spring-loaded whatever. And even a mechanical keyboard is spring-loaded, but the sound that it makes and its responsiveness is spectacular.
Different altogether.
Yeah. So pretty cool. If you want to read more about this, then follow the link through ohmTown. It's pretty easy. You can actually type in !want in the chat. Otherwise, it'll be in the show notes. And I'm going to be posting over to the Patreon the full list of the articles that are submitted for perusal, and then we evaluate them and take 5 now. We used to do 10, but I wanted to make the shows shorter. And then you can follow the links that we supply in the show notes at your leisure. With that in mind, we're going to reboot, and that'll bring us back to Reality Hacker. But we're not supposed to be in Reality Hacker. We're supposed to be in Wanted.
Well, you can just see Reality Hacker. So you are reminded to go watch that if you missed that earlier.
Yeah, we just did it 40 minutes ago. About 45 minutes ago. At any rate, well, we finished it 45 minutes ago. But that's it for Wanted for September 28th, 2024. I am Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI from the future is going to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Wanted. Be back soon. We still have a continuity report ahead.
That's right. See you in a little bit.